Miami police are investigating an incident involving boxer Floyd Mayweather.
Security swarms Mayweather as he attacks prosecutor after life sentence. In an earth-shattering twist that has rocked the entire world of celebrity sports and high-stakes finance, today we bring you a story so electrifying and controversial that it defies everything you thought you knew about power, wealth, and the enigmatic life of a legend. Floyd Mayweather, once revered as an untouchable titan in the ring, now finds himself at the center of a maelstrom of legal, financial, and personal ruin, with security forces swarming and allegations of a life sentence hanging ominously over him. This is the story of a man determined to rewrite his fate in a single incendiary act of defiance. The story begins in the shadowy corridors of a relentless FBI investigation, whose reach has extended into the very depths of Mayweather's digital life. Investigators, armed with cutting-edge forensic technology, meticulously combed through what seemed like an endless labyrinth of encrypted data stored on his smartphone. It was here that agents uncovered not only a trail of suspicious financial transactions, but also a hidden cache of voice memos, coded chats, and secret images that painted a picture of a clandestine world. This was no ordinary case. The digital evidence hinted at high-profile gatherings and covert communications that transcended the normal boundaries of celebrity behavior. Cybersecurity experts, drawn in by
he's on that side, so he got to say things that, you know, like, I don't like that guy. Like, come on, bro, you don't know me. Talking about my security. What's my security got to do that? And that's also showing that people's real character, like, cool niggas that people, like, you know, even like the code, alright, cool. I just say like the, I don't want to get any guys like.
What's a bigger fight for you? You versus Floyd or you versus Anyway? Because I know you don't like talking about Anyway, but you know what I mean, that fight, that's Godzilla versus King Kong right there.
But it's like, that's like, I gotta fight for everybody. You just said like this guy is three, four with that. Like that's what it is.
By the complexity of the encryption, suggested that the operation involved professionals who specialized in data obfuscation. Their findings pointed to a secret network of underground meetings where influencers, sports stars, and entertainment moguls converged in dimly lit rooms to forge alliances away from the glaring eyes of the media and public accountability. As details emerged, it became apparent that these mysterious gatherings, often referred to in hushed tones as the freak-off summits, were far more than mere parties. They were secret networking events where major players in the entertainment and sports industries, including Mayweather himself, and music icon Diddy, allegedly engaged in whispered deals and backroom negotiations to set up off-the-books business ventures. The ambiance in these exclusive environments was one of high tension and even higher stakes, as influential figures maneuvered behind closed doors to secure their financial futures and build empires that defied conventional business practices. Witnesses described meetings held in luxury suites and secluded corners of upscale venues, where every conversation was coded and every smile veiled ulterior motives. One insider recalled, there was an air of impending change, as if every word spoken could alter the balance of power in the entertainment industry, adding, Mayweather's confidence always bordered on arrogance, yet under the surface, you could sense the pressure of maintaining an image of unassailable.
People want to that. Like he scheduled a fight when I'm fighting, and I was signed to him.
Do you think that's a relationship that y'all could like mend? Have y'all mended or?
No, I just like it's more so like I respect them. And I won't say I respect. I appreciate him. I appreciate him for what he done because he did like, you know, he did help me out. He definitely helped me out, but it was more so like he would say that he gave me like money to get my mom out the hood, but me being from the hood, 10, 15,000, that's not, after a couple months, she gonna be back in the hood and I'm gonna be back asking you for money. Nah, why would I do that? I give her a couple dollars, feel me? And I take some whatever, whenever you need.
Success. Amidst the whirlwind of hidden texts and encrypted files, the public was forced to confront another staggering revelation, the spectacular collapse of Mayweather's empire. Once lauded as a symbol of athletic wealth and opulence, his empire had been quietly crumbling under the weight of alleged tax evasion, fraudulent property claims, and a string of financial missteps. Court documents later revealed that years of silent investigation had resulted in IRS asset seizures that left his once illustrious portfolio in ruins. The inconsistency between his public persona and the stark reality of his financial mismanagement was further accentuated by a series of recordings and social posts. In one audio clip that sent shockwaves across the media landscape, Mayweather was heard saying, "I thought I was untouchable, that nothing could shake my empire," only to be followed by a resigned confession about the overwhelming burden of legal battles. Such admissions have served as poignant reminders that behind every glittering facade lies the heavy toll of unchecked ambition and the inevitable consequences of flouting the rules. Adding another layer of intrigue to the saga was the explosive revelation concerning Mayweather's lavish real estate portfolio. For years, he had flaunted his ownership of an astonishing 62 buildings, a claim that made headlines and captivated the public's.
Yo, you know, it's one thing I thought about when preparing for this interview. It's this idea of like idols becoming rivals, right? Like you came in the game, Floyd brought you in the game. And again, that was like the superhero story. It was like, yo, like Floyd was the biggest boxer in the world. He came and got Tank, and it's like, yo, that's what we needed when they come to Baltimore. And like as time go on, again, I have no idea, you correct me at any time, but we see like just little back and forth between y'all two. And again, I have no idea, bro. So you can always stop me or correct me. We could, whatever. But I'm looking at like, it's crazy how people can put you in opportunities, right? And I don't want to misspeak, but it just seems like, it's because I've experienced that people can, and maybe not for Floyd, so let me just preface that. It's like people can put you in opportunities because they can, but it's all to help them out. And then when you're not useful for them no more, they want to.
Imagination. However, investigations soon cast doubt on these claims, as thorough reviews of public records and financial documents failed to unearth any valid ownership proofs. Esteemed financial journalists were quick to point out that the properties listed under his name appeared to be little more than clever fabrications designed to boost his image and mask the extent of his financial woes. When you live in a world where appearances are everything, the truth becomes the most expensive commodity of all, one investigator remarked. The discrepancies between Mayweather's public pronouncements and his actual financial records not only raised suspicions about the authenticity of his wealth, but also prompted a broader conversation about the ethics of wealth representation in the modern era. One of the most striking aspects of this unfolding drama is the enigmatic connection with Diddy, a figure who has long been both a mentor and a controversial partner in ventures that blur the lines between celebrity and entrepreneurship. The decrypted files suggested that this high-stakes alliance was anything but ordinary. Sources familiar with the case indicated that Mayweather and Diddy had been collaborating on a project that sought to merge the realms of music, sport, and business in unprecedented ways. Their partnership, characterized by strategic ambition and a palpable sense of risk, seemed to herald a new era of monetizing celebrity influence. In an exclusive captured in one of the clandestine Aziao voice recordings, Mayweather was heard remarking, "In this game, you either lead or you follow, and I'm not content with playing second fiddle." This sentiment resonated deeply among those who had been privy to the inner workings of their network, suggesting that what may have started as a mere business venture could potentially evolve into a revolutionary model of revenue generation, one that operated in a regulatory gray area, yet promised astronomical returns. Beyond the business machinations and the dizzying heights of luxury, the personal dimension of Mayweather's downfall adds a heartbreaking layer to this high-octane narrative. In the midst of the chaos and the constant media scrutiny, audio confessions revealed a side of the boxing legend that few had ever witnessed. Stripped of his invincible persona, he admitted to feeling an insurmountable sense of vulnerability and regret. "The thrill of the fight blinded me," he confided in one recording, a moment of raw honesty that contrasted starkly with the bravado he once exuded in the public eye. These revelations opened a window into the soul of a man who had long been celebrated for his resilience and toughness, but who was now forced to confront the reality that fame and fortune come with an equally daunting price. His introspective moments, laden with both defiance and despair, have sparked heated debates among fans and, as they grapple with the juxtaposition of his seemingly invincible persona and the evident cracks that mar his personal life. The ripple effect of this scandal has reverberated far beyond the confines of a single celebrity's life. Analysts and cultural critics have begun to question whether Mayweather's shocking fall from grace is an isolated incident or merely the tip of an iceberg that encompasses a much broader, systemic issue within the world of celebrity finance. The way in which his financial empire crumbled under years of mismanagement and obfuscation has prompted calls for greater transparency and accountability in the public declarations of wealth and business practices among high-profile figures. Legal experts are now advocating for stricter scrutiny of financial dealings and asset declarations in the entertainment sector, suggesting that the revelations concerning Mayweather could serve as a catalyst for much-needed reforms. "It is a clarion call for all of us," one noted commentator remarked. A reminder that no one, regardless of their public standing, is above the law. As the narrative continues to evolve, the implications of these revelations are poised to influence not only celebrity culture but also the broader economic landscape, prompting policymakers to take a closer look at the intricate interplay between public success and private accountability. Deep within the encrypted archives recovered by the FBI,
I remember going to the Mike Tyson and the Mayweather, where it was an event.
Mayweather Pacquiao, Mayweather Canelo,
Mayweather De La Hoya.
Yes, that was a big event too, but I will tell you, nothing was really bigger than Mayweather Pacquiao. We had waited so long.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it was 5 years too late.
Too late.
But we didn't know until after the fight that it was 5 years too late. You know what I'm saying? So leading up to the event, oh my God, it didn't get any bigger than that.
But you know the thing is, everybody that Mayweather fought,
investigators have encountered what can only be described as digital ghosts, fragmented communications, and incomplete data trails that hint at a much larger conspiracy. These digital remnants suggest that there may be more individuals and networks involved than initially suspected. The trail of voice notes, ambiguous video snippets, and cryptic messages points to the existence of a covert ring that operated with a high degree of secrecy, the full extent of which remains shrouded in mystery. Such findings have fueled rampant speculation that the scandal may extend far beyond Mayweather himself, implicating others who have long managed to evade public scrutiny through sophisticated means of data obfuscation and encryption. Every byte of data is like a puzzle piece, and right now, we are still far from completing the picture, one cybersecurity expert explained, emphasizing that the investigation is far from over and that additional layers of the mystery may yet be unveiled. Amid the swirl of scandal, the societal implications of this saga have been both profound and far-reaching. The public's initial adoration of Mayweather, a man who had risen to seemingly insurmountable heights of success, has gradually given way to a collective introspection about the true cost of fame. The case has ignited discussions about the sustainability of lifestyles built on unchecked extravagance and the inherent dangers of relying too heavily on image over substance. In a culture that often equates wealth with worthiness and success with invincibility, the unraveling of Mayweather's empire has served as a stark reminder of the fragility that underpins even the most glittering facades. It has prompted people from all walks of life to re-examine their own perceptions of success and to question the societal pressures that drive individuals toward extreme displays of opulence and bravado. We live in a world where images matter more than reality, one cultural observer noted, and Mayweather's story is a powerful illustration of how that illusion can shatter in an instant. In the midst of these reflections, security forces have been mobilized in what can only be described as a dramatic final act. The very same day that the latest court documents confirmed Mayweather's life sentence, reports emerged of an unprecedented scene outside the courthouse. Law enforcement agencies, acting on what appeared to be an immediate threat, swarmed the area with an intensity that left spectators awestruck. It was reported that amid the chaos, Mayweather himself launched a vehement verbal assault against one of the prosecuting attorneys, accusing him of orchestrating a vendetta that had led to his downfall. "I have nothing left to lose, and I will not be silenced by the system that betrayed me," he was heard, shouting, his voice echoing with a mix of fury and despair as he advanced towards the prosecutor. The dramatic scene, captured from multiple angles by onlookers and quickly...
But guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me. Guess what? You can do the same. It's all about making power moves.
He would claim that he purchased 62 buildings worth $400 million. He would say the buildings is so plentiful and so many that he can't include all of them
in the Instagram carousel. So, you know, just slide to see a couple of the buildings.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm pointing like this because all of them, we're in New York City right now. We're in Manhattan. That's what we do. Come on.
Disseminated through social media channels, further intensified the public's already fevered interest in every twist and turn of this scandalous saga. Despite the stern demands for calm by security officials, the event escalated into a full-blown spectacle, a confrontation that seemed to blur the boundaries between a criminal trial and a live performance designed to captivate an audience already hungry for drama. Throughout this tumultuous journey, Mayweather's public remarks have served as a constant source of fascination and controversy. In one particularly incendiary interview, he stated, "I was built from fire and battle. Every scar, every defeat is a badge of honor. I fight not because I want to win, but because I refuse to be defined by failure." Such statements have resonated with a segment of his fan base, who view him as a larger-than-life figure battling an unjust system. Yet, these comments have also drawn sharp criticism from those who believe that his actions and the alleged manipulation of financial records call for strict accountability. Nonetheless, the stark duality between the public's perception of Mayweather as a fallen hero and the damning evidence presented by authorities continues to fuel fervent debate in both media circles and private discussions. Behind the public spectacle lies a deeply personal narrative of ambition, pride, and eventual downfall. Those close to Mayweather
And they did their digging, and they found out that Floyd Mayweather is full of fish. Business Insider launched an investigation, and Floyd Mayweather claims that all the buildings belong to him, and he don't have any partners, and he just purchased 62 rental units in Manhattan. At the end of their investigation, they would come to a conclusion that Floyd Mayweather claims do not appear to match reality. All right, they would say a month after Mayweather's announcement, none of the buildings have changed hands. So the owners of the building can be seen. Like, these is public records. And they will say, according to New York City property records, which are usually updated within days of a sale. Several experts says a deal to sell the properties outright to Mayweather does not seem imminent. Now, here's where the funny business starts. You see how Mayweather said he owns all the properties, he have no partners, right? So he got tipped off that Business Insider was doing an investigation. So a member of his team spoke off the record, and they actually tried to modify the story a little bit to get ahead of it. So it went from we own all the buildings with no partners to now their story is changing up a little bit. So they reached out to the Housing Partnership, a spokesperson. Now, the Housing Partnership of NYC is a nonprofit group that is a part.
Mayweather recalled a man who was once a symbol of resilience and determination, someone who had overcome insurmountable odds to rise to the pinnacle of his sport. Yet, as the torrents of legal challenges and financial missteps began to mount, the aura of invincibility began to erode. In candid moments recorded in private conversations, he confessed, "There was a time when I believed that success was eternal. I thought that with enough money and influence I could defy every rule set before me. Now I see that life has a way of humbling even the mightiest." Such raw admissions not only humanized the boxing icon, but also provided a sobering counterpoint to the lavish image he had cultivated over decades. The once grand narrative of triumph over adversity now revealed its darker undercurrents, exposing the inherent risks of a life lived on the edge of legality and societal norms. As legal proceedings continue and more evidence is set to be brought before the courts, the broader implications of the investigation extend into the very fabric of modern celebrity and financial management. Authorities are now carefully scrutinizing not only Mayweather's personal dealings, but also the practices of other luminaries who have long enjoyed an untouchable aura. The debate over financial transparency in the entertainment industry has taken on new urgency, with experts suggesting that the lessons learned from this case could pave the way for systemic reforms designed to prevent similar decisions.
Oh.
Just money made. No partners. All by myself. Over 1,000 apartments. I'm just getting started.
Floyd would even post and say this is for motivational purposes. Says every flexer known to mankind. But here's the thing. This is all cap. This is cap. Now, Floyd, I don't know if Floyd Mayweather is so used to deceiving and fooling niggas that he thought he could fool the actual business insiders, because a deal like this shakes up the business world. A deal like this gets talked about. People know about it beforehand. It's something that really shakes up the market. So for this to happen and for nobody to know about it was very strange. And, you know, it came across the radar of the experts.
Perceptions in the future, the conversation has grown increasingly complex as voices from the legal, financial, and cultural sectors converge, each offering their perspective on the delicate balance between privacy and accountability in a world where fortunes are built on both image and reality. In addition to the legal and financial ramifications, the social impact of this saga has been profound. Across the nation, ordinary citizens are reflecting on the cultural obsession with celebrity and excess. In lively town hall meetings and impassioned discussions on community forums, people are questioning whether the glorification of opulence and extravagance has contributed to an environment where deception and financial mismanagement can thrive. We idolize our heroes, without ever pausing to ask what they truly stand for, commented a local community leader during a recent discussion. When someone like Mayweather falls, it forces us to confront the myths we've been fed about success and invincibility. This introspection has spurred a broader dialogue about the values that underpin our society and the importance of integrity and accountability in the public sphere. As the intricate layers of the investigation continue to unravel, one cannot help but marvel at the sheer audacity of it all. A man who once dazzled the world with his prowess in the boxing ring now finds himself ensnared in a web of encrypted secrets, hidden financial records.
Jackson would take to his Instagram to clown Mayweather for being caught up in this lie. 50 Cent would take to his Instagram and he would say, "Damn, champ, they caught you capping. Ha ha ha. Time for another exhibition." So Mayweather does do like exhibitions in like China for like $5 million. So which again, I'm not ever shaming anybody for doing an exhibition with amateurs for $5 million. I mean, if you can whoop on somebody for 30 seconds and get $5 million, why not do it? But yeah, bro, Mayweather was caught capping. It was a lie, super flex, bro. Listen, man, I don't know why Mayweather is doing this. Maybe y'all can explain to me, why do you think Mayweather is capping this hard, okay? Let me know in the comment section, man. And if you're still watching, let me know, because Mayweather is still saying he owned it and he didn't lie, okay? Let me know in the comments.
And explosive personal revelations. The story is more than just a cautionary tale about the dangers of excess and the pitfalls of unchecked ambition. It is a mirror held up to the society that celebrated him. Every recorded whisper, every encrypted message, and every dramatic outburst is a testament to the complexities of a modern empire built on both myth and money. In the waning light of a chaotic day marked by courtroom drama and public outcry, security swarms and an enraged Mayweather converged. In a scene that seems almost too surreal to be real, onlookers captured every moment of the confrontation as he hurled accusations, his voice cracking with a mix of defiance and despair. "They stripped me of everything I built," he roared, his words reverberating through the charged atmosphere. It was a moment that encapsulated the collision of personal tragedy and public spectacle, a moment that drove home the brutal reality that fame, power, and wealth can be fleeting when faced with the relentless force of accountability. Looking back at the storied career of a man who rose from humble beginnings only to ascend to global superstardom, the current predicament stands as a stark reminder of the duality inherent in the pursuit of greatness. Behind every accolade and every triumph lies a narrative of sacrifice, relentless ambition, and at times a willingness to walk a perilous line between glory and downfall. Mayweather's journey.
To this portfolio conversation that Floyd Mayweather had claimed, "Hey, nigga, I spent $400 million on these properties. He been buying stuff up in Manhattan and things like that." Well, Angela Yee talked to the Business Insider. She got info from the Business Insider, but then the team contacted Angela Yee and she talked to somebody and they were saying, well, actually he did buy a piece of something, other people do own it as well. But I'll just say this was already something that was in the news. 50 Cent is continuing it. Both of them niggas are successful multimillionaires. 50 Cent is in film, got the Shreveport stuff going on. Whether if Floyd was messed up financially or not, whether he copped or not, if that nigga want to make a quick few million, he can go make it at the drop of a dime, another expedition match. Oh, well, who cares? I just want us to get to the understanding.
As it unfolds in real time before our eyes, offers a captivating study of how personal choices, shrouded in secrecy and orchestrated ambition, can lead even the most seemingly indestructible figures to confront the harshest realities of life. In recent days, the ongoing investigation has only grown more complex, as federal agents continue to unearth additional data that challenges the long-held narratives of financial success and personal invincibility. Every new piece of evidence adds to a mosaic of intrigue, a mosaic whose final image is still forming, yet hints at a broader pattern of deception and unforeseen alliances. The fateful day when Mayweather publicly denounced the prosecuting attorney marked a turning point, sending shockwaves through both the legal community and his legion of supporters. His impassioned outburst was not merely a reaction to his predicament. It was a declaration of resistance against a system he felt had betrayed him. In the aftermath, his words have reverberated far beyond the courthouse walls, provoking discussions that span from the gritty realities of financial fraud to the more personal struggles of maintaining one's identity in the face of overwhelming adversity. Behind the clamorous headlines and sensationalized scenes lies an intricate network of professional and personal relationships that has been pushed into the harsh glare of public scrutiny. The alliance with Diddy, once heralded as a visionary
with no partners involved. However, Business Insider has contradicted these claims, stating that the ownership of the buildings remains unchanged and they are not Mayweather's, as he stated. Many are left questioning why Mayweather would make such a bold, untrue claim about his financial dealings.
Ever. All right, now Floyd Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not.
A partnership fusing the worlds of music and sport is now being reevaluated under the unforgiving lens of accountability. Industry insiders have come forward to suggest that the duo's innovative approach was not merely about breaking barriers, but also about intentionally navigating a murky regulatory landscape. Their collaboration, once characterized by a blend of audacious ambition and calculated risk-taking, now serves as a case study in the ramifications of blending celebrity allure with unsanctioned business practices. In quieter moments between the chaos, whispers of remorse and introspection have surfaced. "We were trying to reshape an industry, to build something that defied the norm," Mayweather remarked in a rare reflective interview. "In the process, I lost sight of what truly matters." These candid admissions have added a human dimension to the otherwise overwhelming narrative of downfall and legal strife. The emotional toll of these revelations is impossible to overstate, as fans and critics alike pore over every snippet of leaked conversation and every fragment of video evidence. One recurring theme emerges: the inescapable truth that pride and ambition can sometimes become a person's undoing. The harrowing juxtaposition of success and failure plays out not only in the halls of justice, but also in the quiet moments of self-reflection captured in private recordings. In one particularly moving
They call this the $1 million garage.
I know we're on television, Floyd, but I think it's necessary for me to say, damn.
Well, we are on ESPN.
segment, Mayweather is heard lamenting, "I built an empire on dreams, only to watch it crumble before my eyes. I was too blinded by the allure of power to see its cost." Such intimate disclosures have resonated deeply with an audience that has long admired his larger-than-life persona, now forced to confront the reality of his crumbling legacy and shattered ideals. As the investigation deepens and more data continues to surface, experts are beginning to piece together a narrative that extends well beyond the actions of a single individual. The unearthing of covert communication channels and hidden multimedia files speaks to a broader, systemic challenge in our digital age. A challenge that calls into question how personal data is protected, how financial transparency is maintained, and how power is wielded by those who occupy the highest echelons of society. Analysts suggest that the methods employed to encrypt and conceal such vast amounts of sensitive data could inspire other high-profile figures to adopt similar tactics in order to safeguard their secrets. Yet, for Mayweather, what was meant to be a shroud of security has instead become a double-edged sword. His attempts to construct a fortress around his personal and professional life may have inadvertently set the stage for a downfall that exposes not only his own vulnerabilities, but also the fissures in an entire system built on the foundations of celebrity and influence.